Hi everyone, thanks for visiting on IndyCar.com. It's Ryan Briscoe here, driver of the number 6 Team Penske IndyCar. And well, here we are, we're starting our oval segment of the season. And I'm actually here with Eric Cowden. This is my race engineer.
How you doing?
Everyone's good here. We're pretty excited about going oval racing. It's been a long time since Homestead last year. And we just wanted to talk about the changes going from the road courses to the ovals, and this is the best man to tell us about the main differences, and it's quite a few. I mean, the car is the same, but basically everything else changes. But what are the biggest differences?
The biggest differences we'll go through between the two types of tracks is the most obvious is the aerodynamics. You'll see smaller wings on the front, smaller wings on the rear, and that's basically we're traveling over 200 miles an hour now. So the wings produce about half as much downforce is needed for the ovals as it is on the road courses. The other thing you'll notice is it's more of a safety thing is the brakes. We use carbon rotors and carbon pads on the road or on the ovals versus steel iron on the road courses. We don't have the need for the stopping capability here. Basically, we're just slowing down to come into the pits. That's basically a safety issue, so there's less weight of the car in an accident flying around. Everything's all held together with tethers just as it is on the road course, but it's less energy that has to be dissipated in an impact. The other thing that it's tough to see, most people won't notice, but the cooling requirements are quite a bit different. Obviously, we're traveling at a much higher speed around the track, so the coolers, the engine, all that combination is quite a bit different. We travel about half the average speed, so we have a lot more cooling capacity on the ovals. The other thing really is the gearbox. Both wheels on the road course, they can work independently. That helps us get around tighter corners. On the big corners on the ovals here, the rear wheels are actually connected, and the rear wheels, the tires are a different size. The right rear is a bigger diameter than the left rear, and that's called stagger. That helps the car actually get around the corners on the ovals without more steering input from the driver. So everything that we're doing is to get the car to turn only to the left, and that's quite a difference from the last racetrack we were at.
Well, that's a lot to take in, isn't it? Eric here is a genius, and he knows all the little details on the car. And talking about details, there's a lot of detail that goes into the setup on an oval, especially compared to a road course. On a road course, we basically set the car up symmetrically. We'll have, the same front springs across the front, same across the rear. On an oval, the setup is basically divided into 4 corners, and we'll have different springs often, not always, but on every single corner, the setup is different. So a lot more detail goes into the setup on an oval. But let's try to grab Matt Johnson. He's my chief mechanic, been on the team forever. You got a second? You got your hand down in the fuel cell here, but this is Matt Johnson, crew chief or chief mechanic on the 6 car. But how does it change for you going from the road courses to the ovals? Does it change how you work with your guys a little bit?
Sure it does. I mean, we got to change the head pad for you, for one, right?
What else do we change for the driver in here?
Well,
he gets picky, doesn't he?
I'm sure the other guys change a lot more, but that's about all we do. Now, I mean, it's a huge difference, of course. I mean, a completely different car, as everything, cambers and everything leans the other way, and completely different suspension, completely different in the fuel cell and everything else on the car, really.
Is your approach different on the ovals to the road course as far as setting up and getting the cambers and stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, on ovals, as everything is a bit more finicky. The precision of the car has to be just precise, and you tape up every little hole on the car and everything else because it's aero dependent so much. Whereas a road course, I mean, you're bouncing over every curb you can find, don't you?
Exactly. So I mean, that's right. Every little detail on the ovals we feel so much more, and on the ovals it's all about getting the drag out, so it's taping over every single hole. So there's a lot that goes into it, but. Anyway, as far as the driver cockpit goes, I also have a different steering wheel for the ovals, and my buttons are moved around a little bit. On the ovals we use a weight jacker system, so that during a race I can transfer the corner weights in the car and it's something that we don't use on the road courses. So I move my buttons around to make those buttons for the weight jack a little bit more convenient for myself, and also my pedal positions change a bit. On the road courses, I'll be hitting the brakes really hard at the end of every straight, so I get a lot of pedal travel in the brakes, so I have to bring that brake pedal closer on the road courses. On the oval, I really want the brake out of the way, so that moves away a bit. The throttle pedal's a little bit closer because we spend more time at full throttle. But they're just, you're talking about half-inch differences, but bit of a view for you guys. It does change a lot going from the road courses to ovals, but the calendar this year makes it a bit easier on all of us, especially the mechanics and the engineers. The championship's basically split up into 4 quarters. We've gotten through the first quarter of the road courses. We've now got 4 ovals coming up, so we'll just focus the car and the setups and everything onto that, especially the Indy 500. And then later as we get into the summertime, we'll get back into road course mode. So hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and keep cheering on the number 6 Team Penske car. Thanks.